Hey, so me and BB-8, we want to talk about things that made us laugh about The Last Jedi because we had a lot of fun with it, and I think I really like this movie. It was one of those things where as soon as I got out of the theater, I was like, man, that is a whole lot of movie that just came at me. It's like 2.5 hours of a bunch of stuff. Like every scene is filled with things, and I'm pretty sure I missed a lot. So I'm going to be seeing it again this week, and I'm looking forward to kind of trying to catch all the things that I might have missed on the first go around. The more I've thought about it, the more I actually like a lot of what's going on in The Last Jedi, and it's become one of my favorite Star Wars movies, I think. I'll have to go back and watch it again a couple times to just, I don't know. There's a whole lot going on, and I really like it the more and more I think about it. I think it's because I'm coming to the whole Star Wars fandom from a slightly different angle. Like, I like Star Wars. I don't deify it like it's the greatest science fiction saga we've ever experienced in our lifetimes, because I don't believe that's true. But, you know, I've been a fan of Star Wars enough to go see the prequels. Every one of those I saw opening night at midnight. Me and my friend Lee, you know, when episode 1 dropped, we were like, this is great. This is going to be amazing. We went and we stood in line for like 2 hours. We saw a midnight showing. When it was over, we kind of looked at each other like, well, that was a movie, I guess. But since episode 1, we've seen each subsequent Star Wars film opening night, including Rogue One. It's fun. It's been a great experience. It's not my favorite science fiction thing, to be sure, but I've had a lot of fun with it. Although the new Star Wars stuff that's coming out has got me a lot more excited about the Star Wars universe. The original trilogy, they were great, but they were lacking two things that I usually look for in science fiction. And one of them is giant robots punching, and the other is Asian people or any sort of minority. And, you know, in the original series, besides Lando, there wasn't a whole lot for minority representation. And the prequels, we had Samuel L. Jackson, and, well, we had Samuel L. Jackson. So, I don't know. Science fiction has had a representation problem in my eyes. Like, I love science fiction. I love space and future and all that kind of stuff. But it always seems like people who look like me can't participate in those universes. Unless, you know, I'm watching something like Kamen Rider, in which case, you know, there are only Asian people in it. But when it comes to Western science fiction and Western fantasy, like, they have a diversity problem. And they also, if they do have diverse casts, Asians are usually the last addition. You know, they have black people, they have Latino people, and we're kind of at the end of the line. So it's kind of a bummer watching these things. Force Awakens gave us Chirrut and Baze, which I love. My space grandpas, they're amazing. I want more of them. If the next film was a Chirrut and Baze film and not a Han Solo movie, oh my god, I would be fanboying over that so hard. And this movie gave us Rose and Rose's sister. They were both amazing. I think Rose's sister had the best introduction in anything that I've seen in Star Wars for a long time. But anyway, the new stuff that's been coming out, I'm into it. And you could call me like a social justice warrior cuck or whatever. I don't give a shit. I'm having fun with it. And if you're not having fun with it, well, then you've got hours and hours of old shit that you can go back and watch. You know, if you don't like the new stuff, you still got the old stuff. And if you don't like the old stuff, then what the fuck are you doing? Like, what are you watching? If you don't like the old stuff or the new stuff, why are you even watching Star Wars? Just do something else. So anyway, to this movie, back to The Last Jedi. Spoilers. Okay, spoilers. So I'm just gonna go through a couple of things that made me laugh on the inside and made me want to laugh on the outside, but I didn't quite go that far. But thinking about it makes it even more silly. So first off, Leia's Mary Poppins Force thing after she got blowed up and left out in space. We saw that, and like I thought it was gonna be like a nice touching tribute, you know, just get a last shot of Leia as she floats away. But then the camera started lingering on her and zoomed into her face, and then there's a shot of her hand, and then her face and her hand, and I was like, oh, bro, don't do what you think. I think you're gonna do. Don't do it. And then she went, wow, and like flew back. It was so funny. I was like, I can't believe this. This is great. She had her Mary Poppins moment. It was funny as shit. I thought General Holdo doing her Daedalus maneuver with the rebel ship was amazing. Like ramming it using hyperspeed or light speed or whatever to blow up Snoke's ship. It didn't really blow up Snoke's ship. Snoke's ship is so big that Hux and Kylo could just keep having a conversation while half of the ship is blown up, and you know they don't have to worry about anything because it's so big. It's like, you know, you blew up A block, whatever. We still got all these other ones. So that was the most anime thing I ever saw, and the silence when they dropped out, the sound, no effects, no nothing. It was just flash of light. That was the most anime thing I've seen, and it was great. I also, and I know people hate that we didn't learn more about Snoke, but I love the fact that his only purpose in this movie was to set up a party chat between Rey and Kylo. Like he was playing operator. He was just like, boop boop. All right, let's have these two sexy people talk to each other. Rey trying her best not to show Kylo her thirsty eyes was kind of amazing. There needs to be much more sexual tension in the Star Wars. Like if episode 9 doesn't end with all of them just fucking each other, I don't know what we're doing. I don't know why we sat through all of that stuff, because there's sexual tension all over the place, and it would squick me out so bad if Rey and Kylo get together. But like her eyes bugging out when she saw him without a shirt and he was just kind of standing there like, duh. That was great. Puppet Yoda coming back to troll Luke is one of my favorite things in the movie. Like Luke running up trying to be like, oh, I can burn down the temple, it's time for the Jedi to die, and then stopping being like, I can't burn down the temple, and Yoda being like, bitch, please, and just lightning, force lightning blowing up the thing, and Luke going, what the sacred Jedi texts? And Yoda being like, yeah, who cares, they're just books. But then at the end, the reveal that Rey had stole them anyway, I'm pretty sure Yoda would have seen that as a Force ghost, and he's just laughing his ass off like, it don't matter, Luke, Rey got him anyway. I loved Poe springing into action when BB-8 tells him that Finn is walking around naked and wet. Poe was like, what? Bam! I don't know if Oscar Isaacs meant it to make him look like he wanted to get some of that Finn action, but that's how I saw it, and I think that's great, and there needs to be more makeouts in the Star Wars. We've had 2 movies without many makeouts, and like I said, what the fuck are we watching it for if in episode 9 there isn't like all sorts of making outs? I don't get it. So we need more makeouts. More makeouts. Oh, Phasma calling Finn scum. Why is scum like the worst insult that these people can come up with? Of all the words that you can use in a galaxy far, far away, why is scum like the worst thing you could call somebody? It just, and it doesn't even faze him. It doesn't faze Finn. He's like, yeah, whatever, bruv. I'm rebel scum. Who cares? Who cares? Scum, I don't know. Scum has never come off to me as like a harsh enough curse word at somebody. Like, there needs to be a better Star Wars curse word. There has to be a better Star Wars curse word than scum. Scum is... Nerf herder sounds more vicious than scum. Come on, man. The way that Kylo fights is disgusting. Like, the way he hunches over and the way he swings his claymore. And it's just so gross and awful. And I love Adam Driver for it because he puts his whole being into his Kylo Ren portrayal, and it's great. Like, you can see him just like flailing about like a fucking idiot, and it's painful to watch him use that lightsaber because it's just like, oh, this is awful. Like, your posture's all wrong. Like, you're not paying attention. You're just kind of swinging this thing like it's Braveheart, and it's... Come on, man. You're supposed to be like, you were trained by like the best Jedi in the universe, and that's how you fight. That's some ugly ass shit. And I love the way he does it. It just adds to his character. It's great. I love it. Made me laugh, but it was also amazing. Luke, of course, doing this when Rey handed him the lightsaber was perfect. I was like, aha, that's how this is gonna go. Sifu doesn't give a fuck anymore. It was so great. It was like the most kung fu movie thing I've ever seen. It was awesome. The part where Leia blew open the door and there was smoke filling in as she steps onto the bridge and shoots Poe for being a dumbass. I was like, oh, she enters the room just like Daddy does. A nice tribute to her father, who walks on the bridges and kills everybody. So yeah, there was a whole bunch that I liked about this. I love the way that the movie kind of plays with fan theories and just throws them out. Like I love the fact that Rey is basically no one, because it means, at least to me, that anyone can rise above their station and achieve great things. You don't have to be part of this familial lineage to be great. And in fact, sometimes that familial lineage can be toxic, as we see in the case of Ben Solo. Like, he has the Skywalker line, and it has not helped him one bit as a human being. He's become quite terrible, as we've seen. I like that this movie is trying to eschew some of the burdens of the past, and not only in the universe itself, but like in a meta sense, like all the fan theories that are thrust upon the Star Wars universe and all that kind of stuff, and expectations, and people getting pissed about this and coming up with, you know, their own ideas. I like that this movie kind of subverts all that stuff and just says, hey, look, we're doing some new shit here. We have echoes of the past, but we're also doing some new shit. I love the fact that all of Poe's ideas were terrible and didn't work out. Whereas in previous movies, the swashbuckling, go-get-em, ace hero would always come out in the end and win. And in this case, it was like, no, if somebody really acted like that in real life, it wouldn't always work out. And we see that it doesn't work out. I loved Benicio del Toro's character, that part when they're escaping from the casino planet and he shows Finn that whoever they stole the ship from was selling arms to the First Order and to the Resistance. That's always something that has been kind of a lingering question in my head, like who manufactures these weapons and do they sell them to both sides? Because an X-Wing is just a tool, like a TIE fighter is just a tool. Whoever, you know, it's just a piece of gear. Like the BB units, who manufactures them? Because we saw a shitty evil one in this one. Not really evil, well, kind of an asshole BB-8. BB whatever, the black one, BB9 something whatever. He was a shithead. Bringing those shades of gray to the franchise, I really appreciated. It's not so good versus evil, dark side versus light side. They're just shades of gray. Also, Rey's name is missing a G. She's a gray Jedi. Okay, whatever. But I liked the subtleties. I don't necessarily need to see good versus evil. You know, there can be shades in between. I was real surprised that Snoke went out as soon as he did. Like, I thought he was going to be the big bad throughout the three. I like that it makes room for Kylo to kind of rise up and to be the shitty character that we all know he can be. Him being set up as the main villain for the third film, that works. That works for me. So I don't know. I liked it. I liked it a lot. The more I think about it, the more I like it. And I could keep rambling on and on and on about it. And so if you didn't like it, that's okay too. You got a whole bunch of other old Star Wars things and video games and TV series and comics and all that kind of stuff to go back in and remember the good old days. But I liked it. I liked the new. I liked the, you know, eschewing some of the old stuff, old hangups. So I'm super looking forward to the next one. I am not at all looking forward to the Han Solo movie. So, we'll see. But yeah, so that's my take. Those were my things. Those are the things that made me laugh. And that's why I like the movie. And I'm going to stop because I ramble a lot. So, all right, bye. Thanks for watching.